That's some crazy stuff, yo!
Peggy 18.
So instead, they shouldn't even try. If they want to make good, compelling video games, they should be focusing on making good, compelling video games, not on supporting.
Hey, wait a minute, Rick. I thought this was a commercial. What's going on? I mean, don't worry about it. Let's just see where this goes.
Useless pieces of hardware that really have no business existing to begin with, right? PS5 and Xbox Series X should not be supported. Okay, they shouldn't even be available for sale.
本日の放送は以上です。ご視聴いただきありがとうございました。以上です。
Okay, before we start this video, who wrestled the fuck out of Harman's Jimmy's? Holy crap, I have never seen this much salt in my life from this man. Because I'm going to forewarn everybody right now, in this video, he completely goes off the deep end. I mean, he has just thrown reason and logic right out the window. But anyway, besides all that nonsense, make sure to like, comment in the comment section, and subscribe to the channel. Helps me grow, helps the algorithm, and, you know, pushes my videos and all that sellout stuff. So please make sure you have something to drink and something nice to eat, and let's go ahead and dive right into the video.
Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of Black Cat Books. Game developers are wasting their time developing titles for Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and the PC. They should be focusing all their time and effort in maximizing their support for Nintendo Switch console.
Harman, if I was a video game developer, I would not be developing for the Switch because it is so underpowered. Especially when Bayonetta came out and it was only hitting about 45 frames per second. And not to even mention when Sonic Frontiers came to the Switch, oh my god. That thing was hitting below 30 frames per second, which it should be at least the basic of 30 frames per second. Not to mention, even Sonic Frontiers doesn't really look that good, and it's still lagging with that problem. And don't even get me started on the on Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and how terrible that game runs on the Nintendo Switch. It is absolute disgrace. So yeah, frankly, if I was a video game developer, I'd stay far the fuck away from the Nintendo Switch until they decided to upgrade the hardware.
Every game should be coming out on the most successful gaming platform.
It'd be funny if it weren't so pathetic. No, what the heck, I'll laugh anyway.
I really don't know about that, Harman. I'll be completely honest with you because, you know, this isn't back at like the 2000s, you know, when the PS2 was released and it sold about like 155 million units. Yeah, I don't think the developers can design for that anymore.
This isn't like rocket science. This isn't all that complicated. All we're seeing now is a lot of bluster, a lot of nonsense, a lot of like weird claims from developers who are paid off by Sony in order to support other platforms, but not Nintendo, into not supporting Nintendo Switch. That's what we're seeing here. Let's be real here. This has been happening since the 90s. It's been like a very prevalent problem.
Nice argument, Senator. Why don't you back it up with a source?
My source is that I made it the fuck up.
Harman, I have been Google searching in the last hour for anything that resembles Sony blocking any games going to Nintendo or the Nintendo Switch or any brand in the Nintendo family. And I have zero search results coming back to it. You know what came back as proof that Sony has been blocking games? Is the one where Sony has been blocking games going to Xbox.
But now it's becoming more and more obvious because the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X have absolutely nothing to offer to gamers whatsoever. The big new game of this generation, Hogwarts Legacy, is also coming to Switch, right? You have games that are available on every platform. You have games that like really should be available on Switch. There is no justification for Resident Evil 4 Remake or Elden Ring or like Returnal or like any of these other multi-platform games to not be available on Nintendo Switch.
Harman, again, there's a reason why they're not bringing it to the Nintendo Switch, because the Nintendo Switch cannot handle these games. It cannot handle Forspoken, or Forgotten is what I should say. It cannot handle Resident Evil 4. It cannot handle, and sure as hell cannot handle, Elden Ring. For God's sake, the Nintendo Switch could barely handle Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Also, Harman, FYI, buddy, let's just say this real quickly, though. I know you haven't played on the Xbox or the PlayStation at all, but their netcode is a lot better than the Nintendo Switches. Trust me, I own all three platforms, and I'm just going to say it, the Xbox and the PlayStation have better netcode. And FYI, I'm not promoting this or anything, but if you have a Series S or a Series X, you can actually do emulation on them. I'm not going to tell you how, but there is a way to do it, and if you're actually smart enough, you'll find out a way to do it.
And in essence, if a developer really wants to produce high-quality, unique, interesting stuff at an affordable price, right? If they want to stay within their budget, if they don't want to blow $100 million on Forspoken, they should be developing for the Nintendo Switch, which is a much more reasonably priced, reasonably powered console.
Excuse me, the fuck did you just say?
Bruh, I can't be the only one where he said console. He sounds like Lois Griffin from Family Guy. Console, that's all I really hear from him. Also, too, Harman, I really don't see developers putting their games on the Nintendo Switch to make it look unique and affordable, because from what I'm seeing from majority of things, developers are still not impressed with the Nintendo Switch, and they want a stronger and more upgraded Nintendo Switch than the dull, outdated Nintendo Switch that is out right now. Not to mention that the cartridge that they have for the Nintendo Switch only, reserves up to like 16 gigabytes, if I remember that correctly. And not to mention, it is like very, very taxing to develop for the Nintendo Switch, from what I've heard from the developers.
And that is the thing about this console generation. That is the thing about the PC, is that these platforms are indeed overpowered. They are overpriced. No developer can afford to properly support these consoles with develop games that can really max out their capabilities. So instead, they shouldn't even try. If they want to make good, compelling video games, they should be focusing on making good, compelling video games, not on supporting useless pieces of hardware that really have no business existing to begin with.
You're gonna regret it.
Harman, the Nintendo Switch is a piece of shit, okay? When it first came out, it was fucking underpowered. Every single game, like Doom Eternal and so many other games, got ported from the current gen consoles to the Nintendo Switch. They all run like goddamn dog shit on the fucking Nintendo Switch. Do you understand me, Harman? Do you realize Hogwarts Legacy for the Nintendo Switch version got pushed back to July? And literally, the fucking game came out last month. It is taking them 5 months to optimize for the Nintendo Switch because it is such a buggy, disorienting, disfigure, downgraded console. I'll bet you anything that the Yuzu emulation on the Xbox Series X can run Pokemon Scarlet and Violet a lot better than the Nintendo Switch could ever in its lifespan. And Nintendo really needs to up their game. They need to get a stronger, better, faster, stronger. I can't believe I said stronger again. Nintendo Switch for you guys. Because honestly, the Steam Deck is such a better portable game device than the Nintendo Switch.
Right? PS5 and Xbox Series X should not be supported, okay? They shouldn't even be available for sale, honestly. And the only way that's ever going to happen is if we simply refuse to support them, don't pay their subscription fees, don't buy their games, don't buy their platforms, and instead focus all of our time, our energy, and our passion into playing Nintendo exclusives. I can tell you that I've had more fun playing Nintendo Switch Sports than I would have playing Elden Ring, right? It's more challenging, it's more complex, there's more to do in the game, there's more technical depth, there's more variety in the gameplay. Nintendo Switch Sports just dominates Elden Ring, and I feel like very few people will want to admit that because they want to continue deluding themselves into thinking that like Elden Ring is somehow cutting edge or like the best game on the market when really it's not even close. There are better action RPGs. There are better open world games. There are better games period on Nintendo Switch, and yet
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Can you smell that, Chad? Can you smell that? You know what that smells like to me?
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Also, Harman, I've got a little message for you too, buddy. Get good. You seem like you have a problem with Elden Ring and getting good too, so get good.
we're still in this delusional period where nobody wants to admit it. People really are trying to justify their $4,000 PCs, their overpriced consoles, the fact that we have a new console generation to begin with, when none of that was really necessary. What people should have done is just demand better games on the consoles they already own.
There goes that Lois Griffin consoles again. Okay, hey Harman, in order to get better quality, we need better hardware in order to run these products. It's not that hard to figure out these type of things, but I mean, when you've been stuck on the Nintendo Switch for as long as you have, I'm not surprised your mind is stuck in a one-way track.
Like the PS4 was dead in the water, and so they had to pump out the PS5, which is also floundering. Like, just let the brand die and just support Nintendo going forward. Like, it's not all that complicated, but we're seeing like companies just fall over backwards trying to defend Sony. You have like Square Enix releasing statements saying that like Final Fantasy 16 couldn't possibly run on a gaming PC, which is like ridiculous. We designed this for exclusively for the PS5. Like that's a load of crap, and everybody knows it.
Okay, the PlayStation 4 comment is kind of untrue because they sold like 114 million units, dude. Like, calm the fuck on. Do some research. Also, the Square Enix thing, I gotta agree with him. Square Enix is in the same bed with Sony, and it's not even funny anymore. Hell, I'm starting to think that they are like the primary people that do backdoor dealings with them. Want an example? Where's Final Fantasy VII Remake? I really want to play that, but I'm not going to buy a fucking PlayStation just to play it. Hell, I'll just buy it on my PC and enjoy it. God knows if they're even going to release the next Final Fantasy, even on Xbox or PC. Who really knows? Also, too, you Nintendo drone, I am not going to support Nintendo, okay? I will support them in buying their games if they're really good, but in these type of situation, what they did with Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, I ain't touching it.
Like you have developers just crying about like, blowing $100 million on like Forspoken. You have like, the games as a service becoming more being pushed. You have like these people developing NFTs, right? Square Enix like legit fired their CEO and put forward the guy who was pushing for NFTs at the forefront of their company. And yet all anybody wants to talk about is this alleged idea that Pokemon is like going to start contributing to NFTs to begin with. I don't see a lot of people focusing on the Square Enix side of things, but I see people like trying to make stuff up about Pokemon. So, interesting double standard there.
See, I find that really funny, Harman, because, see, if you actually did any type of research, you would know that on the Pokemon Company website, they actually are trying to hire someone that are into NFTs, Web3, and all that bunch of hoo-ha. And also, too, a lot of people are lambasting the shit out of Square Enix right now because of the NFTs and stuff and how hard they're pushing for it. Instead of working on video games and giving us quality content, they would just rather work on NFTs, which is bleh.
Again, all this comes down to is Nintendo bad and everything else good. You know, like you're not allowed to be a Nintendo fanboy. You're not allowed to talk about like how Nintendo is superior to other consoles. But if you like gaming PC, oh, you're the part of the master race. Oh, if you're a Sony fan, oh, you have the most successful TV show of all time, the best video game adaptation ever in The Last of Us HBO. If you're an Xbox fan, oh, you're gonna own every single game company on the planet, and you have Xbox Game Pass, which is the most successful gaming streaming service in the world, which isn't true, by the way. Nintendo Switch Online is more popular.
Being a fanboy of anything is extremely bad, Harman. Not just a Nintendo fanboy, a PlayStation fanboy, Xbox fanboy. Any walks of life of being an extremist in any type of situation is very, very bad. Also, Xbox Game Pass is the better subscription service. You want to know why? Because we can access 100 plus fucking games. What can you do with Nintendo Online service? What can you do with the Nintendo Online service? Well, all you can really do is access the service online. That's really it. Just to play multiplayer with your friends. And, well, all I gotta say, that online service really sucks ass.
Why exactly are we here? Like, how exactly did we get to this point? Like, it really does feel like the vast majority of gaming YouTubers, of critics, of journalists, of analysts, like they're just downplaying the very real fact that Switch is the most popular platform by far for actually playing games. They just don't want to admit it. They just do not want to admit that Nintendo has won the console war, and everything we're seeing now from like these clickbaiters, from these shills, from these influencers is just like trying to keep the farce going for just a little bit longer to continue getting those clicks, to continue getting those super chats, to get those donations, those Patreon contributors, to just continue pretending that like someday the Dreamcast 2 is going to come back and just destroy everything.
You want to know how we got to this point, Harman? It's because of people like you. Your blind loyalty to a brand that gives zero fucks about you, that could give you actually shit for an actual product, and you would say, yes, sir, thank you very much. That's how we got to this point. It's because of people like you.
Like, that maybe we'll get a good game on Xbox. Maybe if we keep supporting them. Like, why does anyone care? Why does anyone support any of these platforms? PlayStation and Xbox will never be relevant. They never were relevant. They could never compete with Nintendo consoles, and I'm kind of sick of pretending they ever could.
Oh no, is the Nintendo fanboy, the Nintendo Nazi, starting to get a little grumpy? Are they grumpy that their hardware is underpowered and they don't run any of the good games? I'm sorry. I really am, Harman. And no, I really don't feel sorry for you, Harman, because I'm pretty much guessing that you're going to feed into the system, the $70 system, just to go and play the new Zelda game.
And PC gaming is so delusional. Like, you guys think that, like, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, like, these are all, like, viable PC exclusives, which isn't even true, but like, the fact that you use your PC to, like, you know, look at naked women on the internet, or like, you know, you consider we're talking about PC gamers, people like, oh no, it's Alex, like probably male women, I suppose, femboys, whatever they call them. What do they call them? Traps? Like, I don't exactly know, but there's people like, oh no, it's Alex, like.
Exposed. Yes! Exposed.
Okay, Harman. Yeah, sure. We'll believe you that you have absolutely no idea what we call female boys. Okay, whatever you want to say. Hey, hey, Near, how about you help Harman Smith out here? Remind him what they're called, because they're kind of escaping me, too.
Like, considering that you can only find that on PC reliably, that's your favorite exclusive. That's what you're into. That's what gets you excited. That's what gets you passionate.
Yeah, okay, Harman. Like, you can't use the Nintendo Switch to go online and look up those certain things, or just download the YouTube app to look. Like, come on, Harman, stop it right now. All you are doing is just spiraling down into the fanboy argument and try to water down everything like the Nintendo Switch is the greatest thing ever.
Me, the actual gamer, I'm playing Nintendo Switch Sports. I'm playing Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. I'm playing Metroid Fusion, Mario and Luigi, Wario Land 3, I'm looking forward to Tears of the Kingdom. I'm playing Cereza. I'm playing Fatal Frame 4. Like, I'm playing all these great Nintendo games that just most people are desperately trying to downplay. Enough is enough, right? If you're not playing exclusively on Nintendo hardware, you are not a fan of video games. If you're talking about Last of Us HBO, you're not a gamer. If you talk about like Xbox Game Pass, a bunch of these old games that you can easily acquire and other used through a variety of different means, you're not a gamer. If you care about like Xbox or PlayStation at all, you're not a gamer. Like if you downplay some of the very best games in the entire industry, Mario, Zelda, Pokemon, Metroid, like you are not a gamer. That is what we're seeing here, is that a bunch of people who are trying to push agendas to try to establish some kind of niche community in their online about like hating Nintendo. We can't allow this to continue. You are not gamers.
Aw, look at the little Nintendo Nazi. He's trying to gatekeep. He's trying to gatekeep everybody out and say they're not gamers because they're not playing on the Nintendo platform. And you know what, Harman? Honestly, it's really sad that you have lied so many times throughout your career, especially where you've said that you've actually played on your PC. But I've catch you in the comment sections actually saying you only use it to make videos and stuff and you don't game. How on God's green earth does anybody take you seriously after all this? Honestly, like, I don't understand. It boggles the absolute shit out of me that anybody takes you seriously. But anyway, that's pretty much the end of the video, and thank God we got through that whole video, like Jesus Christ. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and please remember to do all that sellout stuff like commenting, and subscribing to the channel. It really helps me and it gets me into the algorithm. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Later, fam.